Corey Graves, why? Why did you think what you did on Saturday night was okay? No, here's the thing. Why did you think it was okay to expose it to the public? This is a little bit of a late video, but this is a video giving my thoughts and my opinion on what happened on Saturday night. The tweets that Corey Graves, Raw and SmackDown commentator for WWE, probably in my opinion, the best commentator that the main roster at least has. Why did he go out of his way to pretty much, call out his friend CM Punk on Twitter? So here's what happened. Last week was an eventful week for CM Punk. On last week, he was in court and he was proclaimed not guilty in the case with him filing the lawsuit against WWE doctor Chris Amon for not diagnosing a staph infection. As, keep in mind, the doctor who told Punk he had a staph infection, which was about 3 or 4 months later, told him that he could have died. And then he had his second UFC match on Saturday night against Mike Jackson. He lost, but, I'm sure, most expected that because, CM Punk is not really, no offense, but meant to be a MMA fighter. But Corey Graves, his friend, then goes on Twitter and posts some nasty tweets towards Punk. I'm not going to read all of them, but I'm going to read a few of them. It all started when he posted this. Maybe abandoning everybody who stood by your side, even when we weren't supposed to, only to have you turn your back on us wasn't the right move after all. No anger, only sadness. And he also says, aw, seems like the fans are disappointed. Maybe you guys should know that dude held my first son before I did because I was on tour and I trusted him. I had dinner with him the week after he quit. He says also the first rule of punk rock is loyalty, and the guy betrayed it all. I still love you, friend, and I'm sorry you got lost. He even goes on to tweet to Triple H and Vince McMahon saying this isn't corporate, this is personal. He says a couple other things, but then he goes and says, hey CM Punk, and he tags Punk in the tweet and says, call me tomorrow, I still love you. He also apologizes to Kenny Omega. I guess he says something about Kenny Omega. And then he says, don't forget, y'all, I actually knew how to fight before I got the TV. And he says, I'll fight him. And then he was interviewed, actually, by Fightful.com, explaining his actions. And from what I got out of it, Corey Graves is upset with Punk because, first, last week he claims that he disowned the company last week by the actions he did. What do you mean by you disowned the company? You CM Punk again straight up said in his podcast with Colt Cabana that this company made him miserable. CM Punk is using his noggin and saying, hey, this place is not making me happy. Why am I wasting time here? Why am I not out there, enjoying what I do enjoy and what makes me happy whatsoever? That's all CM Punk did. This lawsuit, as Punk said, he knew he had a case. He knew that he had to go in there to testify, and all he had to do was tell the truth. And he believed in the truth, and what he said was true, and he knew it was going to get him, the results he felt should be happening for this matter. And also, as he said in an interview last week also, it got the big monkey off his back. It was an emotional moment for him, his wife, April Mendez, or April Brooks, now, whatever you want to call her, because, what was AJ Lee, but her and Punk are married now in real life. So she got that monkey off. He got that monkey off his back, and it was a big moment for them because, it's been a burden, it's been on their backs for how long, and now he feels like he can just put them in the past, just move on. Another thing Corey Graves also makes seem like that is he's upset pretty much that Punk didn't want to really associate him with him that much at all, or a lot of WWE superstars after Punk left the WWE. I guess apparently, like I said before in one of the tweets, he took Punk he went out to dinner with Punk like a week after he quit, and then I guess when he was in Chicago again, he tried to say, "Hey, want to meet up?" And he's like, "I don't want to see you. I can't. I can't see anybody from WWE right now." It was just Punk trying to get his space. Obviously, being around some people like Corey Graves or anybody else who's friends um, with a WWE. Obviously, he needed to have his space to heal, pretty much. Because again, this thing that he thought that he loved, ended up not being what he enjoyed. But Corey Graves, to take a page out of the Lexman's book, is pretty much acting like a bitter ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend. It's something that here's the thing. WWE is now trying to become a kids show, pretty much. Like the audience for the kids. That's why it's in the PG era, which still drives me nuts because watching stuff back at the Attitude era or the Ruthless Aggression era or any other time in the TV 14 era, I'm like, the show always needs to be like this. It does. I'm sorry. The WWE. The WWE, also the WWE, the WWE is not meant to be a kids show. It's not. But if it is, then why are we acting childish like this? Yes, I'll be honest, I'd be hurt if one of my close friends wanted to, step back and disown me and just not just disown me, but not see me for a while or talk to me for a while because they feel like seeing me will have an effect on something else that's bothering them in their lives. It would sting, but I would never go out of my way to publicly post it on Twitter in front of everybody else, from the whole world. Because one, it's none of their business. And two, what's that going to do for me? It's going to hurt my reputation and what people think about me. Yes, I shouldn't care what people think about me, but I want people to know that I'm a good person. Corey Graves had respect of a lot of WWE fans for how great his commentary was, and all sorts of other stuff. I also gave him respect for being from my hometown and for being a huge supporter of my hometown's hockey team. But now seeing that, I've lost respect for him. Like, what kind of an example is that supposed to set? He pretty much cyber bullied Punk, and I'm not going to start being Nia Jackson doing the whole anti-bullying campaigns, but again, it goes back to the fact too, they're trying to promote the be a star, don't be a bully, whatnot. Well, what does this represent? What does it represent? I mean, here's the thing. I'll be honest though about CM Punk though, for a change. Yes, again, as I said before, he did what he felt was right for him, and him distancing himself from his friends with WWE is felt what he needed to do to help him heal and get past this moment of letting go of something he thought he loved. Again, that just made him miserable. However, though, I'll be honest and say I do see CM Punk as a guy that could definitely rub somebody the wrong way at first. Like, no offense, at first people who don't know the guy could think he's an asshole, which I could see. But the thing was, one thing I noticed about CM Punk that he mentioned in his podcast with Colt Cabana, he always told Vince, what he wanted to be. He wanted to be the guy. He wanted to be in the main event or whatnot. And it's not like saying, you better give this to me or else whatnot. But he said it in a way, somewhat he did, but he said it in a way to show a degree of confidence in what he believes. He says, I want to be able to main event WrestleMania someday. I want to be able to be the world champion and whatnot. And it's fine if you don't think I'm that material. But if you don't think I am, then you need to fire me. He told Vince McMahon, if you do not think I am main event material, you need to fire me. Because it's like when you're applying for any type of job. You want to sell yourself. And CM Punk just wanted to sell the confidence. Yes, at times he would say he did some things that, made him come across as a jerk. And, I can definitely understand that. I have a few friends, at first you may think, oh, he comes across as a jerk. But, you get to really know who they are, where they're really coming from. I get that. But CM Punk just always has the best intentions, I feel. Well, what he believes in. And, I do see where he's coming from. But this action from Corey Graves here, it's just childish again. And then what ticked me off also was last night on Raw. When they were advertising Brock Lesnar's 435-day title reign, we're still need to make a video on that also. That's going to be a big rant there. He pretty much kind of teases saying Punk's name or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said it in a way that kind of looked like he was following up on what happened on Twitter last night. That's the other thing too. You see, when Punk first lost, which Corey Graves actually did, give a sign of respect, saying he still supported him when after he lost at UFC 203. But the WWE, since Punk has left, has still gone out of their way at times to still, imply who they're talking about and say it in a bad way. Saying how, Stephanie McMahon told someone that they were going to quit just like CM Punk did, or, they made a tease about 2 minutes and 14 seconds after Punk lost in that amount of time to Mickey Gall, UFC 203. No offense, but the WWE is still not letting it go. Like, Punk quit 4 years ago. And yes, I get it. Now they're probably going to piss off them because they beat them in a lawsuit, and they don't like to lose. Because, like he said, also, they can hit you, but you don't like it when you hit back. And that's exactly what Punk did. He hit back them with truth, and they're just not going to let it go. And this right here just shows it. I'm very disappointed in Corey Graves. I thought he knew better than this, but unfortunately, he doesn't. So Corey Graves, you know what happens when you disrespect CM Punk? You know what happens when you expose your true colors over the internet and give yourself a bad reputation? Corey Graves, you just made the list! It's just a shame, though. Why, Corey Graves? Yes, he was your friend. Yes, he left you. But, again, just trying to attack back like you did, it's just gonna hurt your reputation and show how immature you can be. But guys, that is my thoughts on Corey Graves' tweets about CM Punk. What are your thoughts about them as well? Do you still respect Corey Graves? Have you lost respect for him? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure to always click buy, like, and subscribe for more content to come to this channel. And follow me on Twitter at TheManAirBoy93. I will see you guys all later. So until then, guys, have a great night. Peace out, everybody.